A 24. Gastroblues Fesztiválon a színpadok száma egyel gyarapodott, 5 színpadon szólt a zene, az egykori John Mayall's Blues Breakers muzsikus Walter Trout fellépésen vonzott sok érdeklődőt. Walter súlyos betegség és májátültetés után jó kondícióban adott felejthetetlen koncertet.
I was playing with John Lee Hooker, and Canned Heat and John Lee Hooker have a very close relationship, and Canned Heat needed a guitarist to do one tour, and they said, "Will you do the tour with us?" And I said, "Yes." And then after the tour, they said, "Do you want to stay in the band?" And so it turned into almost 5 years. And then I was playing with Canned Heat, and we opened up for John Mayall. And he had the original Blues Breakers back together. This was in 1982. He had Mick Taylor, John McVie, and Colin Allen on the drums. And we opened up, and he said, "I would like to hear you play with Mick Taylor. Will you come out and do this short tour with the Blues Breakers?" So I found myself on tour with the Blues Breakers, of which I was not an original because they're all from England. I was from New Jersey, and actually I grew up listening to those records, you know, so that was cool. And then John said, "I'm putting a new band together. Would you like to be in that band?" And so that's how I ended up in his band. It was a vote. The people of England, they voted. Yeah, they voted. It was they did it on the radio, BBC Radio, and they said, "We want you to call in and vote for who the best guitar player is," and I came in number 6. The explanation why I was voted that, because the people like the way I play. They voted for me. It's real simple. I got that amount of votes. I was 1 vote short of number 5, and number 5 was Jimmy Page. And if I had known, and they had like 100,000 votes, right? If I had known I was 2 votes short, I would have called in and voted for myself 3 times. And I'd have been number 5. But what the hell?
There is nothing I can do.
I thought it would be my last final record because I expected to die. And I was actually 2 weeks after we finished the record is when I was put into the hospital, and I was in the hospital for 7 months. My story is that when I was in the hospital, my son John brought me a Stratocaster and said, "You need to keep playing." And I had to sit in a chair, and they had to hand me the guitar. He handed it to me. And I went to play, and I could not play. And I said, "Take the guitar out of here. I don't want to see it." I couldn't play it. I had to relearn how to play, start over again when I got out of the hospital. I could not write a song in a hospital. It was all I could do to take another breath. When I was in the hospital, I didn't really think about music. I thought about survival. I was that sick.
There is nothing I can do.
It's both. It is basically to educate people about liver disease, about becoming an organ donor, and also to educate people about the disease hepatitis C, which is what I had. And it's really an educational institution. It wants people to learn about how to become an organ donor, how to sign up, because there's not enough donors. And many people die every year waiting for an organ. And if more people signed up to be a donor, many lives would be saved. love what I do. I love to play music for people. But I have this saying, and I learned this in Canned Heat. I do not get paid to travel. Let me go back. I don't get paid to play. I get paid to have to go through all the traveling. You know, tonight the playing will be great fun.
Folytatódott az a sorozat, amely keretében befutott sikeres hölgy látogat Paksra. Ezúttal az angol gitáros díva Joan Shaw Taylor jött el a Gastroblues Fesztiválra. Joant a Eurythmics együttes vezetője, Dave Stewart fedezte fel 16 éves korában, és rögtön a brit blues új arcaként emlegették.
You know, I started playing guitar, electric, when I was 13 after I discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan. And, you know, as you just said, my father and brother had an amazing record collection because they both played guitar, so they were big into their rock music and blues. But no, very fondly, you know, it was a very exciting time to be sort of exposed to this music, and particularly as I knew that was what I wanted to do. You know, and every day I was discovering a new artist, whether that be Albert Collins or B.B. King or, you know, Deep Purple or old Black Sabbath, you know, so it was... And there was a whole world out there that I knew nothing about up until that point, you know, music, so very exciting times. Yeah, I was never a normal girl. still working on that normal thing. I just fell in love with it. I've been playing classical guitar and knew I wanted to play electric like my dad and brother, and I just discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan, and that was that, you know, I was obsessed with the music, and you know, that was it really. There was no convincing me that I was going to go to college or have a normal job. Yeah, I mean, again, I just knew that I wanted to do it, and around that time as well, the blues scene in America was kind of taking off, so I was learning about guys like Johnny Lang and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who were young but doing it professionally. You know, they had their albums out when they were 15, 16. So yeah, I mean, getting in a band was the next step, and I think I got in my first band when I was about 14. My brother played bass, which caused a lot of arguments. Don't get in a band with your older brother when you're 14. I always wanted to. I think I knew I wasn't ready though. I knew I wanted to focus more on being a singer and a songwriter. So hence I kind of waited till I was about 22 to do my first album. That was when I kind of felt I was capable of doing a good one. I just received news that I was nominated. I think it's something to do with the Nottingham Blues Society, I'm not quite sure. And which I was very thankful to be nominated, and thankful that whoever voted. Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was such an honour that Annie thought of me and asked me to do it. You know, it was rather nerve-wracking. There was a lot of people there, including a few very important ones. And I was very aware it was going out to millions of people on the television. Mostly I just remember thinking that I should smile a lot because I knew my mom was watching. It was shortly before she passed away, so I knew it was a big deal for her, and you know, I wanted to make sure that... I remember specifically thinking, you're on TV, your mom's watching, you look nervous, smile. Well, I'm going to do my usual sort of set. We're playing for 45 minutes, but Joe's doing I think it's a tribute to the British blues explosion. I think that's how it's being described. So yeah, that'll be exciting for me to see because I've never seen him play that kind of stuff. So. Oh, I love it. I think it's the best album I've done. You know, and that's thanks to Kevin. It was just a great experience from start to finish. Studio was great. Working with Kevin was, you know, as you said, I've been friends with Joe for a long time, and therefore Kevin, you know, I've met him through Joe. So it was great to finally get to work with him, and the band were amazing, studio was amazing, Nashville's a wonderful city. So no, very happy with everything. Keep trying to be a good guitar player, try to get better. Hope that lots of people like the album. One day, maybe go on holiday, because I haven't had one in 15 years. Basic rules, stay healthy. That's about it, really.
Let me get down to the point. I'm glad you made it here to Shawnee's shooting joint. Can you smell what I got cooking?
I have not really been anyone's backup singer. I'm kind of always been the lead, except when I started in church. Of course, I'm singing in the choir, chorus, but I've had a cover band I've been with for 20 years. So we play all the radio music. It keeps me busy, but I'm a songwriter in my heart. And so I had to do that. Just to do someone else's records is not enough to satisfy me. I write myself, and he writes himself. We do covers of greats, but we're writers.
It really came, for me, it was more on my own discovery, because they tried to get me to play when I was young, and I wasn't really interested in it until I became interested in it. And by discovering music on my own that I liked and was passionate about. And the music that I liked first was heavy metal music. And my family didn't like that at all.
Right.
They were educated jazz musicians and classical musicians, so they thought that was
Garbage.
just
They call
trash.
it garbage, yeah.
I come to show you what you've been missing.
Well, I was pretty young when I did that. I was 21 years old, 22 years old, and for me, I had a dream about organizing some concerts, so I did that, and I was really lucky to get to produce a couple of really great concerts with Charles Brown, Jimmy Witherspoon, Hank Marr. So that was sort of what it was about for me, was bringing the real stuff to the people. The real blues.
Blues, yeah.
Hopefully, because we were the best that year. I think we were definitely different from what everyone else was doing. So much so that it really set us apart, because it seemed like at that year at the IBC, every band was playing with the same volume, the same dynamics, and we had something that was really different. And I think that the judges and the audience recognized that it was different, and I think that's why we were able to win that year.
Come get you some music, smells like soul food. We got a blue play special tonight.
For me, I want to mention that he has a program at the Lincoln Theater, a blues camp, and we get to work with young people, very young, maybe from age 12, pretty much up to 21, and to see them return every year, learning the music. And this particular year, the kids did one of my songs and one of his. Normally we're picking Albert King for them, or something traditional blues. This year the kids did our songs, and I couldn't be happier. And it keeps them out of trouble. They're keeping the blues alive. So I know the next generation will still have the blues.
We put together two classic name. One comes directly from Italy, because we are from Italy and the red wine is very famous, and we like it. And the second one, the Serenades, is a kind of a name that they used to call the bands in the early 20s, 30s. Many jazz bands.
What I said is that I grew up with the black music, jazz and blues since I was a very little baby, and so I always had this music in my ears, and I don't really know if I can sing or play another style of music, because probably there should be always some black roots involved, so I don't know. I'm really lucky that I'm able to do what I really like. So.
She's sitting on an ottoman's lap. If you wanna be a little pal of mine, where you come?
I would be starving because if nobody asked me to play our kind of music, probably I wouldn't play nothing else.
Yeah.
That's why I would be starving.
I started with them when at the beginning, but then we had different ways, and then the fact is that the lady is also a singer, so she decided to do her own career, and then I was very glad to come back with my friends to play music.
What I intended to say is that we, of course, are very happy that we won this important award, and that we are not only interested in the blues field, because we think we have so many different influences in our music that could not be described only as blues. Yeah. And we are, of course, we love blues, we love ragtime, bluegrass, folk music, and more in the years we are trying to put all these influences in our songs.
You go to your woman, I'll find me another man. So now you keep on going.
I mean, we started in Italy in a precise moment that nobody played this kind of stuff, and happened that after that many started to put together acoustic projects of some sort, like ours, more or less. And it was we tried to recreate, but with a modern feel, not getting strictly. We don't play like it used to be. We played acoustic, really acoustic music, but with a modern feel, even if the songs are old. So
there are a good response in the audience, because a lot of even young people who doesn't really know nothing about this music usually are involved in the spirit of the
I think they are more listenable today.
Yeah,
the way we play.
For them it's something new.
Yeah, that's it. The strange thing is that for them is a kind of new.
Yeah,
is a kind of new thing, but for us, I mean, it's good to bring more young people to our concert, because, as you probably know, one of the biggest problem in this kind of field is that the audience usually is quite aged. Because if you think that we are working since, I think, 10 years now, in these 10 years so many things happened and changed, that also our music reflects these changes.
I see.
I'm gonna tell you little something that was gonna make you mad.
We love Gastroblues. Thank you for having us. It's great to be here. Fantastic.
Well, you better keep on going. You better keep on going. Not until I change my mind. Keep on going, Daddy. Don't stop.
I was just invited by Yuri to come this year. I came 2 years ago as well. I just played with maybe 5 different bands or something. So I'm doing the same this year. So we're here at the Templon today, so that would be beautiful. So I play with Benko Jort today, so that would be nice. Definitely, yeah, all those guys, you know, all fantastic still. Yeah, I listen to them all. Nobody really that new that I really like that much. I played with a guy called Ryan McGarvey recently. He played in Budapest actually a little while ago. He's a really nice guitar player, so I played with him last year and this year in the UK. Here in Hungary, the same, all very good, you know. So it's yeah, it's great. I come here every year to play in Budapest or here in Parks. No, it's still fantastic here. So UK, not so good, but you know, it's just singles and dance music and stuff. You know, not my thing. So yeah, that's why I listen to the old guys really. Both. This year I have a new album this year, a new CD, which is on sale at the Sports Hall. It's called Blues Brother, and it's all blues songs, some of mine and some cover versions like Cream and Hendrix and stuff, Larry Carlton. So yeah, that's something I did maybe 3 months ago. Well, the first one, yeah, I still do a little bit of teaching at the university where I live. Just guitar really. And some of my students are touring the world. Nobody really famous, but you know, they're out playing with different bands and stuff. And one of my students just emailed me this morning. He's in Russia, and so he's having a nice time. He's going around the world playing at them. So yeah, there's some really nice players, and yeah, one of my ex-students is here today actually, not playing but just drinking, probably. A young girl called Charlotte. So yeah, she was here 9 years ago, funnily enough.
Really?
Yeah, she was here with her father. Yeah, yeah. So she's one of my ex-students as well. Yeah.
Gastrobluesosnak mondható vagyok, de nem voltam itt mindegyiken a kezdetektől. Tehát több formációban voltam, először azt hiszem kreol, latin duóval is voltam, mindenféle formációban voltam. Most a Skorpióval leszek. Skorpiónak tulajdonképpen a magját játsszuk. Lesz a végéből, lesz a közepéből és lesz a végéből. Tehát ilyen átfogó. 40 percben nagyon nehéz összehozni egy teljes koncertprogramot.
Vártam megint, hogy újra vigyen, de nem jött többé már, sajnos nem jött többé már. Érte jött a
más volt az este, apám didergő teste, párás felhőkben mosdatta őt nagyanyám. Mindannyian, akik most a zenekarban játszunk, annak idején játszottunk már egy ideje egyéb rhythm and blues bandákba, és ezért is választottuk az ismerős arcok nevet, hogy kicsit szerénytelenül bár, de azt képzeltük, hogy az arcunk ismerős lehet már egyes blues vagy rock színpadokról a közönségnek. Kint már rúgták az ajtót, a mama sírt csak, de nem szólt. Adott volt ugye, hogy miután tulajdonképpen ilyen rhythm and blues zenéket játszottunk leginkább klubokban, blueskocsmákban az előző zenekarainkkal, mikor elkezdtünk újra zenélni, vagy elkezdtünk együtt zenélni, akkor ugyanezt a műfajt tűztük az zászlónkra, hiszen ehhez értettünk, ezt tudtuk, ezeket a dalokat ismertük már, és minél előbb színpadra szerettünk volna kerülni. Aztán úgy alakult, hogy kikeveredtünk Erdélybe, úgy alakult, hogy itthon olyanná vált a politikai helyzet, aminek a szele már minket is megcsapott, úgy alakult, hogy akkor lettünk annyi idősek, hogy úgy érezzük, hogy valamit mi is hozzá szeretnénk tenni a közösségünkhöz, a hazánk életéhez, a mindennapokhoz, nem csak elvenni belőle, és hát nem mellesleg egy erdélyi út, ami aztán meghatározta a zenekar sorsát. A Vili lehozott egy dalt, és én arra megírtam az Egy a hazánk című szöveget, és onnantól kezdve a dolog úgy szoktam mondani, hogy mint valami fogaskerék a helyére pattant, és azóta célja lett a zenekarnak, küldetése, úgy tetszik, és azóta gyalogolunk mi ezen az úton.
Sötét bőrkabátok vitték nagyapám.
Szeretem Paksot is, szeretem a szervező urat, és szeretem az egész környezetet. Én félig meddig szinte tolnai gyerek vagyok, édesapámmal rengeteget mentünk erre, a régi hatosan a Skodával Bátaszékre, a nagyszüleimhez, és örömmel vettem észre, némi szomorúsággal, hogy ahogy bejövünk Paksra, azok az épületek pontosan ugyanúgy néznek ki, mint ezelőtt 20-25-30 évvel. Még az előtt zenekarokkal is sokat játszottunk, de egyébként az ismerős arcokkal is most már legalább 4-5-ször vagyunk.
Ha úgy érzed, hogy megteheted, bocsáss meg, de ne feledd, hallod, ne feledd!